Oh my God, I put him to sleep.
Oh, we got it. We got a gag going.
He's just so boring.
What a time to be alive.
Take my hand, off to Never, Never Land.
Well, we had to use that intro because the man with the last comment at the end there, he's on the show with us, Mr. Zach McKinnell. Jeez, I saw the Borg and I went with Borg. Sorry, Zach, of the Blue Bloods or FCS Central on Sports Illustrated, co-host with Tim Rosario, who we had on before you this year. But as always, thank you so much for sharing some of your time with us, Zach. We already got comments giving us a hard time here. My wife's giving me shit, and she's like right at her desk next to me working on some stuff. And so, anyways, thanks a lot for joining us here, Zach. We appreciate having you.
Man, I appreciate it, man. Like I told you privately, man, this is one of my favorite shows to kind of tune into every week, man. Y'all kill it. Y'all do a hell of a job, so I appreciate you. And Alex, man, I brought you something a little bit special, man. I got my Woodwick here. I bought this. Like, I ordered it from Woodwick. They didn't send me a clipper though, so I don't know if you got to order that separately. But I'm a little upset.
Members only club. You got to, high end there.
You got to have your nose up in the air a little more to have the clipper.
Yeah.
This show is brought to you by Woodwick. No. You want to go over our show sponsors?
I suppose. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on Jackrabbit Illustrated YouTube and Facebook, as well as the FCS Fans Nation YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you joining us. We are, as always, brought to you by Jackrabbit Illustrated's title sponsor, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, with nine different locations across the great state of South Dakota. There's always a dealer near you to get yourself into some orange equipment today. So get yourself some high-quality orange equipment. You'll take care of your ranch, your homestead, your farm, or anything in between. They've got the implements and equipment you need to keep your hard work going forwards. So get yourself into some orange equipment today. They're always near you with parts, sales, and service to keep your beautiful orange equipment up and running after you buy it, or to fix it if you need it. So thank you so much, Kubota Dealers of South Dakota, for being with us for another year. And of course, our show sponsor for Scared Money Don't Make Money is Cubby Sports Bar and Grill of Brookings, South Dakota, in downtown Brookings, the number one sports bar in South Dakota. I would argue the Dakotas. I think it's probably the most infamous one at minimum, with roughly 30,000 TVs. Don't check my math. I'm not the actual engineer here. I just play one during the day. So I know that annoys them. But going out to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill. I'm not sure if the patio's probably closed at this point, but you can still catch the Jacks there. All the different things. I'm sure they'll have the volleyball watch party for when the tournament field gets announced and everything there to see what seed the volleyball team gets. Huge shout out to them. They're 16-0 again. But yeah, get down to Cubby Sports Bar and Grill, get the Jacked Up Game Day Burger this weekend to watch the game. If you can get there, that is the place to watch Jack's games.
Quick plug for the volleyball team. And yeah, shout out to them. The Summit League tournament is in Brookings this year, so get out and support them. They have games their semifinals on Monday night, and then the finals are on Tuesday night. So get to Brookings and support that team. They're a lot of fun to watch.
And one more thing on that that I want to point out. I don't think we make a big enough deal about them and how good they are. 100%. They're not Summit League good. They're nationally good. Charlie Cream, who I thought was just the women's basketball bracket guy, also came out with bracketology for the volleyball this year. And this was just a couple weeks ago. And he had SDSU as an 8 seed. And how they had that set up, it made it look like, and I'm not familiar, so someone out there check my math, like there'd be potential that they'd be hosting the first round if they get like a top 8 seed in the bracket. So I'm not sure if that's true. I might be completely wrong, but the way he grouped it in pods when he did all that stuff, I'm not 100% sure, but just getting as high as an 8 seed would be incredible. I think that'd be the highest seed outside of football that any of our programs have gotten in a tournament like that. Sans the wrestling has had higher seeds, but not as a team.
There's there isn't. You know, we don't need to get down that road. If you want to figure out what the difference between the NWCA duels are at the end of next month and the Paycom duels that happened last weekend, listen to last week's Takedown episode. We had a really good discussion about it, but we've got more important things to get. Well, not more important. We got different things to get to today here.
Look at us go. More important, we got Zach with us. We got Blue Bloods with us today. It is more important. He's with us now. He's just like whatever. Yeah, wrestling real big down in Alabama.
We got to get to Zach's takes here.
So I actually wrestled. So like I
oh no shit. Okay.
Our high school didn't have it, but there was an MMA gym where they had a wrestling like program there, and that's what I did because it helped.
Hell yeah!
So I wrestled because of football.
Yep.
Which you get some of that here too. My favorite story on that, if we're gonna get in garage time early here, is there was for those that follow the sports entertainment variety of wrestling. I saw this clip the other day that was shared on an actual wrestling page I follow. Just some of the regionality of it. Cody Rhodes, who's a WWE wrestler, was talking about he was actually a really good high school wrestler. He only had like 2 or 3 career losses. They're like, really? He goes, but I need to qualify that. I grew up in Georgia. He goes, I go to these national camps, and this kid from like Minnesota or Iowa that would like barely make the state tournament would just absolutely tool me. There's absolutely levels to it by region.
Yeah, for sure.
I was gonna say, the most proud sport of how their athletes do in another sport is wrestling, because they will always tell you how much better football players wrestlers are every time it comes up. So I'll let you know about it.
Well, there's no professional level other than we're turning into a takedown episode. Other than RAF. RAF is getting going a little bit, and they've had some good events, but I guess it's fitting. Takedown's off tomorrow, so we gotta have some unscared money, I guess.
There you go.
Because the Jacks are off this week, so
we got to get through the picks at least, so we can get to.
Ben's dying already.
I see the writing on the wall, and I don't like what it looks like.
30 minutes scream by, 45 minutes is screaming
by.
Bro,
he listened to one of our podcast episodes and saw like an hour and 15 minutes, and he just died inside a little bit.
Right.
As soon as we brought
when I'm
up
listening, I can listen on 2x or 1.5x. I can't record at 1.5x.
Well,
that's fair. That's fair.
That's the funniest thing. Ben will send like clips of stuff to the group chat, and it's like, why are they talking so fast? Like Ben's ADD brain has everything sped up all the time.
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's get into these picks. To recap, we had, am I in the right week here? I am, yes.
Did it have you having less wins than the rest of us?
So we had the Fighting Revs, Stephen A. Austin, I believe, is they are now.
Yeah.
They took down Lamar but did not cover. Montana State took down UC Davis and covered 38-17. Kentucky covered over Tennessee Tech. NDSU beat UNI but did not cover. That one saved my bacon. UND won 35-17, but Murray State covered. And I hate it because, like I said, I always pick Murray State.
Mikey
Mikey
boy.
Batts is in the house.
Too.
He said morning. I don't know if he's like across overseas or something. But
so I wonder he might be stationed somewhere or what have you.
Possibly. Youngstown State won and covered over Indiana State. USD won in a crazy game. I think, was it quadruple overtime?
Yeah.
53-51.
5 overtimes.
Yeah, 5. Yeah.
Oh, it was 5.
Pentuple
overtimes. And they covered, and then Illinois State obviously covered against us. I went 5-3. Brendan went 6-2. Alex went 7-1, and the model went 4-4. So things certainly tightened up a little bit. I'm still at 50-42. Alex and Brendan are 47-45. The model's at 55-37.
I just want to know that I'm helping you speed things along, because the urge to argue about whether it was pentuple or quintuple was strong, and we're not going to talk about it. I just want to bring it up that we're not going to talk about it.
Not sure what the correct term is there, but that recap was brought to you by Blue Tide Car Wash, I think.
Yes.
Yes, it is Blue Tide Car Wash with 19 locations in Sioux Falls, locations in Mitchell, Hartford, and Brookings. Ton of washes in each of the main location, plus Sioux Falls with scattered brush and touchless washes throughout the city of Sioux Falls. Get yourself a monthly car wash pass and wash your cars as many times as you'd like. Jim Poppin bringing up at Raindon Pier. He needs a truck wash, and that's his first stop in Brookings on Friday. If you're going to the volleyball game on Sunday, get your car washed through the Blue Tide Car Wash there. They will get your truck or car squeaky clean, and they take pretty much all vehicles that are trucks. Don't be bringing a semi and saying, well, Brendan, no. But yeah, Blue Tide Car Wash. They will get you hooked up and treat you right there. They do a great job, and I am always happy with how my car turns out coming out of Blue Tide Car Wash.
Perfect.
Zach, did you have any reactions from those games that surprised you?
I mean, not really. Listen, I was a little disappointed in you guys. I'm not gonna lie. I kept having
Us
faith.
too.
I kept having faith.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, it's to this point. I don't even know if y'all played Murray this weekend. If I take the risk, I'm upset. 3 straight weeks now of just disappointment for me in my picks.
Yeah, you and us. We're also disappointed, very much so. Alex, I didn't give you an opportunity to speak on the game. Do you have any thoughts on that? On that game? SD Illinois State.
No, you guys covered it pretty well. I thought the defensive game plan was good, and once they kind of settled into the game, they played well. Once again, not anything that hasn't been discussed already. Friend of mine who listens to some of our stuff occasionally, Matt Huff, we're rocking out of Mass Sunday, and he's like, "You probably know, you're the numbers guy." I said, "I probably don't, but what's up?" He goes, "You know how many yards they gave up from the second quarter on?" I said, "Do I want to know?" He said, 68, and we gave up like 270 some odd for the game. So it was like just over 200 yards for the first quarter.
That was one of the weirdest first quarters ever.
A lot of it was because of some situational stuff. Listened to the coach's show last night. Coach Jackson talked about. And then offensively, we'll probably get to it a little bit when we break down the UND game, but you guys know we've talked a lot about it offline this week. It seemed like we did a good job of simplifying the game plan against USD, and then USD kind of counterpunched, and we couldn't counterpunch back, and then we overcompensated this week and went back to some of the complex stuff from earlier in the year that wasn't working, and I need to find the happy medium there.
My first thought when you said is we didn't counterpunch, so we we overcompensated and didn't punch at all in the first.
Well, part of that too, but
we made up for it by not swinging at all and only counterpunching.
I know Zach's an MMA fan. It's like a Yuri Prohaska fight. You got to get down before the fight really starts, sort of thing. Almost
got to be almost knocked out before I start swinging back.
Right.
Yeah, unfortunately. All right, well, let's roll into JIAI here. I had to add this one. This isn't really JIAI, but I enjoyed the cover page I made. First one up.
Oh my goodness! Would you look at the size of that bird? It's bigger than the scoreboard. And wait,
it even had its mate for life with it.
That was the Redbirds taking a big old crap on the field.
This one after the incident earlier in the day.
Joke about what?
Geez. Yeah, that's a tough one. Yeah, after the tailgating incident. Shooting ourselves is
well, okay. I hadn't thought about that, so I'm still gonna play it anyway. Don't think about that in the context.
Okay, let's get this game started.
Oh yeah, we should skip it.
Whoops, I better not do that.
That's again. Probably so lost right now, but
I hadn't thought about that. Okay, moving on.
This show is definitely not.
There is another.
This show is definitely not monetized. YouTube shut
not anymore. Not anymore. Oh my god. Ben.
Alex sent this.
Oh my God!
What
Ben.
did you get to get that? Did you just type in Plexico Burris and just hope it? Like, what you doing?
I was shooting ourselves in the foot. It made sense in my head.
It did.
It did, but there was another incident that made that not
about
appropriate.
I forgot all about that.
That was
All right.
I've said some shit, but oh my God, Ben.
And it just so happens that there's a gun in this one, but it has nothing to do with the JIAI. But I wanted to give you context. Alex sent this quote: "When it's time to fight, you fight like you're the third monkey on the ramp to Noah's Ark. And brother, it's starting to rain." So here's the video that accompanies that.
We're still going to make the playoffs. No way. We are going to the playoffs.
I like turtles.
It's off the rails.
Oh my
This
God.
one I really do enjoy, though. I put a JIA together for the pick standings. I'm barely in the lead, but Alex and Brendan are breathing down my neck.
I'm in the lead because I'm always right.
That's a spicy meatball.
I heart Tim Rosario. Who's coming with me to Indiana State?
Oh, I'd pay so much for that Mario Kart version.
Oh,
So
man.
much money for that version of Mario Kart.
All right.
FCS podcast Mario Kart.
That might be one of my favorite ones you've done.
The JIA one?
That
Or the
definitely
last
made
one?
up for the
Yeah.
that definitely made up for the middle part of that JIA.
Yeah. I made it
Yeah,
up for
we
it.
finished strong.
It got real
Finished
dark
strong.
and then brightened up for the end.
The
Yeah.
prompt on that one was really long, but it turned out great. Anyway, so
Ben,
can we
it was.
confirm?
How long did you have to type that prompt out for?
Oh, it's a long. I'll send it to you. It's a long one.
Oh my God.
But yeah, Zach, you are. I think you're on the hook to go to Terre Haute. Just
Me and
yeah.
Dustin.
You both?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Dustin
know both.
wants to go. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Dustin is
Right.
like a
Rev's
bucket list
excited to
crown.
go.
He's just a sicko.
Well, I'm telling you, if I end up being the one going, I am going to dress as a wizard, and we're doing wizard sticks on the. Do you guys do wizard sticks down south?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So
Just
you
take
every
pounders and you
empty
drink one,
beer you drink, you
duct tape
tape
the next
together until
one.
you get a wizard staff of empties.
Okay.
And
I've
then
heard of
I'm
beer
gonna sit-
steaks, but never heard of that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna drink enough of those to start casting spells on the field or something in my wizard robe. That's my game plan.
That'll be great.
We'll
All right.
definitely make TV.
Who's our JIAI sponsor? Is it Hadrick?
Yes, it is
Yes,
Hadrick
it is.
Ranch.
Hadrick Ranch, the producer of this prototype of ranch. Hadrick Ranch. No, one of the, or if not the best beef producer in the area, possibly the country. Their beef is so good. They're certified Black
only-
Angus and ranch to table.
Only
Now,
certified range to table in South Dakota. I think you can certifiably say they are the best in the area.
for
And the
sure,
best part is, Zach, if you want some, they ship to Alabama.
they do. 48
Yeah.
states. So yeah, thank you to Hadrick Ranch. All right, let's roll into the pick segment here. And first off, we have 3 non-conference games. 4 actually. 4 because there's a lot of playoff implications and we just couldn't help ourselves. And we wanted Zach's takes on them as well. But
So
go ahead.
I was going to say, do we want to go over quick the 4 we're picking, and then Zach can hit on anything else he thinks our fans should know about? That's like not ours, like our show.
I mean-
SDSU fans should be paying attention to outside of the 4 we have.
Yeah, well, unless I suppose Zach, can you make picks on this show, or you have to save that for your show?
Yeah, I can make them.
All right. Well, we'll have
We
you
don't
make.
spoil anything because I love your show. So I'm just gonna
But
plug
plot
my-
twist, I'll change my picks up. I'll pick a different team on every show I'm on.
You can't lose that way.
I thought you were gonna do that with the Mercer pick on
Mercer game. Yeah.
that Mercer game. I was so waiting. Listen to that episode. Like, is he gonna pick Mercer? Is he gonna be like, I got those idiots on JI to pick Mercer?
Right.
All right. So what I was saying is that there are a bunch of boring Missouri Valley games, and so we're gonna,
Do we want to start with those? Yeah.
yes, we're going to pick those first, and then pick the more entertaining non-conference games that have playoff implications. So sorry, Michael Batts, but the first game out of the hopper is Murray State.
Jesus.
Murray State going to Indiana State, and Indiana State's favored by 9.5 at home.
Man. I suppose I could start the show off.
Sure.
Well, there's an odd number, so do we want to rock, paper, scissors, or are you just taking the disadvantage?
I'll take the disadvantage. We'll alternate back and forth, and I'll probably end with the disadvantage. It's fine. I'll win anyways. Murray State's going to cover because that's what they do. I actually think this might be an entertaining game to watch between these two, just because they are fairly evenly matched in my eyes. I think 9.5. I genuinely think it is too many points for Indiana State to be favored over Murray State in the first place. So, give me Murray State on the road. Road dogs, the coveraholics. Give me the Racers.
The model has Indiana State by 8.9, so it too is going to take the Racers to cover. And I will actually agree with Brendan. I don't think it's going to be that close. If you look at the advanced numbers, Murray State's been playing better the last couple of weeks, even including Indiana State's win over us and putting the fear of God in Youngstown a little bit last week. So I think Murray State, not going to necessarily call them to win, but I think 9.5 is way too many.
Yeah, I think it'll be close.
Zach, what do you got for this one?
Yeah, I like Murray to cover, but Indiana State to win.
I like it. Concise and to the point. I will take
just making Ben happy.
Just wait till we get to the important games. I didn't have anything to offer for this one.
Sure, Zach's been sweating that one all week with all the national coverage stuff.
Keeping him up all night.
Will they bring back Elijah Owens for one game?
I'm not going to go against everybody. I'll go Murray State as well.
Coward.
I think it's too many points. If it was like 6.5, I'd probably take Indiana State, but too many. Next up, we've got another boring game. St. Thomas goes to NDSU. NDSU's favored by 33.5 at home.
Oof.
It's a lot of points.
I can start this one off. Give me NDSU by however many y'all want to give them.
So the model has NDSU by 34.5. So it says buys and cover, and they're going to cover as long as they want to. So give me that. Cole Payton has had a little bit of a rougher stretch. I saw that before I jumped on here and I scrolling my phone, and there was McFeely was, if we want to do
that was ridiculous. God, he is so annoying.
Crazy big segment here.
Cole Payton should win the Walter Payton best player, best team, blah, blah, whatever.
And there was a Youngstown account. I don't remember if it was Gino or one of the other guys had quote tweeted and was like, he's only thrown like 4 passing touchdowns in the last 5 weeks. Like, bro, Brungard has completely outplayed him the last 5 weeks. So that said, I think they do some things to get Cole Payton going and get him in a groove before the playoffs. And for that reason, I think NDSU covers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, Alex. I think they're all in their feels about Cole not being the front runner anymore. And I think they're going to try to make a Cole Payton case against St. Thomas, which is a hilarious statement to say. I wish that I had the just bald-faced confidence of some of the Missouri Valley football media,
including our own.
I wasn't going to do that, but
certain media member today that said
to come out and say, I don't watch any other games, and then
USD should be a
top 8 seed because they beat everybody else because everybody else sucks. The confidence that it takes to say that just because, I think that is okay. That was wild.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. And Seth, McFeely was on a show tonight saying that we should want to not make the playoffs. That's good. We should probably
was he saying was that McFeely or Nate Brown? Because I could see either of them saying that. Maybe I ruined our chances of having Mike McFeely or Nate Brown on the show ever.
Yeah, I don't think you would ever want to have McFeely on the show.
No. I mean,
you probably don't know who Nate Brown is. He's a Rapid City guy, but
I've outright called Mike McFeely a douchebag right before media days, and he was glaring at me the whole time we were there.
Bro, and he took like such an unnecessary shot at Stone too, for no reason in the rant, and said that he was a quitter because he got benched. Like on the radio.
He didn't quit the team.
Yeah, he called him a quitter on national radio and said like pretty much just rip Stone for no reason whatsoever. And said we don't vote for NDSU players because we hate NDSU. All the national voters.
He's insane.
The guy's the worst.
Yeah, and took a shot at Jamie
spiraling
Williams. Took a shot at Jamie for no reason in the same rant.
What
Nice.
a douchebag. I hope you're listening, Mike. I mean it.
Yeah, he's something else. Finish up this pick. I'll go NDSU as well. Pretty boring, but yeah,
Timothy, I can't believe you
want
wasted time with that show. I only listened to it because it's local. But anyhow.
What show is he talking about?
Listen, Timothy is a
Gaskins
true Timothy is an FCS sicko. Anything that has to do with FCS, Timothy's listening to. I don't know how he does it.
That is awesome. Good stuff. All right. Next up on the boring game slate. This spread is surprising, though. Brendan, get your stuff ready. Youngstown State is favored by 10.5 at UNI.
Well, it's boring, but it's important, right? Because
yeah.
Youngstown still has to take care of business.
I know they do, but as you can see, Brendan's already putting the hat on. I'll pick this one. I'll take Youngstown State easy.
Yeah, this is a spicy meatball. You know the worst part about this bit is I got to show off my inverse of God, I'm blanking on the USD coach's name for some reason. Johansson. I got
that's right. You have hair where Johansson doesn't. And Johansson has hair where you don't.
He has great bushy hair where I don't. If you put our heads of hair together, we're doing all right. So that's the worst part of this bit. And my hair's long and it looks bad. So yeah, I got that going for me.
Also, it's not the full bit until you say it with the bad Italian accent.
Oh, sorry. It's a spicy meatball.
That's better.
Yeah. Give me Youngstown State by like 20 at least.
Agreed.
I'll agree. I don't, what was the exact spread?
10.5.
So yeah, the model's actually going to take UNI to cover. It only has Youngstown by 7, but I will.
Maybe the
I will.
Model knows something we don't.
Bo Brungard taking the day off or what?
It's a win and you're in. UNI has a bad offense. Yeah, I think they cover that.
Well, I guess there's that. They haven't won there since they haven't won at UNI in the Dome since 1999.
Streaks are made to be broken. It's broken this weekend.
Ask us how we know.
All right. The last Missouri, well, not the last, but the last Missouri Valley game before the out of conference games, we've got Southern Illinois going to Illinois State. Illinois State's favored by 3 at home.
Model has Redbirds by 5.3, so I'll take them to cover. And I agree. I think it's an Illinois State team that's going to be playing to sneak into maybe that back half of the top 8 seed conversation. I don't know if they get there at 9 wins, but it'll give them a case a little bit. And the flip side, you got a Southern Illinois team that doesn't have a defense looking to turn their pads in. So give me Illinois State to cover that.
Yeah, give me Illinois State all the way. They didn't look very good the last 3 quarters, but I think that was more just them not being able to get back into rhythm after they kind of shut it down. Which is a whole different conversation about that game. But yeah, I think Illinois State covers on this one, especially against the bad defense.
Agreed.
Just going to say everything Alex said. I'm going to copy every word he says, apparently.
Yeah, I don't trust SIU to stop that offense, especially if they're locked in. They know they need to win. They know they need to win too. And SIU, I don't even think with the win is in the playoffs. So I don't know how motivated that team's going to be. And outside of DJ Williams, I don't love a ton about that team.
I will also take Illinois State at home. Only 3 points. I think is a gift. Next up, we've got Lehigh going to Lafayette. Lehigh's favored by 10.5 on the road.
All right. Man, I just think that's too many points in this game. On the road is like literally across the road for this rivalry. But I think I'm going to take Lafayette at home to cover. They're going to be playing for their playoff lives. And its nickname is the game, right? If I remember right, it's just the game because it's the most played rivalry in the history of college football.
It's most in FCS. It's like number 2 or 3 overall.
Is it really? There's FBS teams that have been played more because all the oldest rivalries are like Ivy League, and then
I think it's Rutgers,
them, and then us in USD.
I think Rutgers, Princeton. I guess that's technically FBS, FCS, but even with their years off, has a few. I don't know. We can look it up. Google's free.
I'm looking it up
for now.
Yeah,
that's what I was just doing. That
right.
While they're going,
So give me Lafayette to cover, and I'm probably man, if Lehigh just beats the dog shit out, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yale Princeton is the longest one.
There, yeah, yeah, that's the most played is Lehigh Lafayette.
Yeah, so it's the most played, but not the
games.
Longest. Yeah,
right. And that's what I was saying is most played because they got Yale and Princeton by 14 games even. Holy crap!
Jeez. What'd you say the spread was, Ben?
10.5.
10.5.
You got the spreadsheet. Why don't you look at that? Sorry, I've only been told that 400 goddamn times throughout my career on this show.
Like 4. You're such a baby.
So, Model has Lehigh by 6.5, and I kind of like that. I'll agree. I really like Lehigh's defense. I think that seals the game for them, but I don't know they have enough offense to win by 10.5. This is going to be like a 21-17 type of game, I'm feeling.
Yeah. So like you said, I know Brendan wants me to say my picks, so I'll just send them to y'all after because we're recording right after this. I'll send them to y'all and we can get them in the spreadsheet because we picked by the same spreads. But just some like notes for y'all.
Yep.
The number one scoring offense in the Patriot League is Lafayette, averaging over 40 points per game in conference play. Lehigh's only allowing 9 points per game right now in conference play. It's elite offense versus elite defense. Kente Edwards is a baller at running back for Lafayette, but also Lehigh has a two-headed monster with Jaden Green and Yoder there. The one concern is if Lafayette can't run the football, listen, their quarterback's experienced, but I just don't know if he's going to be a guy that's just going to be able to spin it and win this game through the air, and that's my one concern.
That's where I'm at with it. I think that's going to be low scoring, and I think that's why Lafayette covers, but Lehigh wins.
And if you're an SCSU fan, you better pray that Lehigh wins.
Because
if you're
on team 7 wins, yes.
Yeah, that bubble gets real tight if Lehigh loses this game, because Lehigh's probably still going to be a top 8 seed even with a loss at 11-1, and Lafayette's going to still in at large bid, and someone's going to be on the outside looking in because it's already going to be super tight for a 7-win Valley team.
And shameless plug, I put together a rooting guide on my Twitter if you are wanting to get in for 7 wins. So.
Hey. We may have had some 7-win arguments in the background before with us here all week.
Yes, we definitely have. If it was a low, I think Lehigh wins, but I don't think they cover. I think if Lehigh gets up, I think Lafayette has the offense to stay in it. So I will take Lafayette plus 10.5. Next up, we've got Sac State going to UC Davis. UC Davis is favored by 5 at home.
The model has UC Davis by 6. So it will take Davis to cover. And I'll agree. I think this could turn into a little bit of a shootout just with how good Sac's rushing offense has really. They have gotten the go going a little bit here. But I think it comes to a game like this, especially rivalry, comes down to quarterback play, and give me Pinnock over totally drawing a blank.
Cardell.
Yes, Cardell Williams. No, not Cardell Williams. That was Cardell Williams.
Yes, Cardell Williams.
Yeah, sorry, I don't know why I second guess myself. The interesting discussion Zach and myself and Jamie had on this. Maybe you and I can bounce back and forth here, Zach. I'm of the opinion that as far as a rooting guide, if you are team get SDSU in 7 wins, I think you want Sac to win. But you and Jamie thought the other way. So I'll just present my case and maybe you can bounce back. I think it's that way because then when Sac gets in, because the winner's in no matter what, and I think the loser's probably out no matter what. There's some disagreement from you guys that a 7-win UC Davis could be in. But personally, I think if you're looking at a 7-win SDSU and a 7-win UC Davis on the bubble, we're going to have a 2-0 versus 0-2 record against common opponents and more significant wins and a tougher strength of schedule. Yeah, there's always the losing out on 5. That's always big. But on the flip side, UC Davis is going to have lost 3 of their last 4, if not 4 of their last 5. So that's where I think I'm team pro Sac in this. On the flip side, if we take care of business, I saw that look, man. On the flip side, if we take care of business and the Hornets win and get in, that also potentially vaults us up to getting a home game first round. So you look at it that way on the positive side too. And Dustin says if Sac wins, does that open it up for SUU? Potentially a little bit. That's also a chance there. Zach, you want to present the counter argument like we've had off the air a little bit here this week?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is one, if you're comparing it directly to an SDSU UC Davis thing, I think they're going to forgive the fact that UC Davis only had to play 11 games because of the situation, because they had that no contest with Mercer, which they were winning when the game was canceled. And you look at what Mercer's progressed to, that's going to count for something. And on top of that too, they're going to have their starting quarterback. They have some injuries elsewhere, but they haven't been as impactful as what SCSU has lost. And yes, you're right, 2-0 versus 0-2 in common opponents. But UC Davis has a head-to-head win over Southern Utah, who's also on the bubble. They have a head-to-head win. Also, who else is on the bubble? They have a head-to-head win. I'm blanking on Northern Arizona, NAU. They killed NAU in that game too. So those 2 wins are going to get them in. And I think if you're comparing the 2 teams, you have an SCSU team that's lost 5 in a row. And at the end of the day, I know people hate to hear it, that SDSU team that beat Montana State doesn't exist anymore. That team is not the team you're judging. And yes, resume has to count for something, but if the team that built that resume is not there anymore, you've got to throw out some of those wins. And I'm sorry, I don't care about the Montana State win, because if those 2 teams played today, Montana State probably wins by 30.
Sure.
Breach.
Yeah, we've had that.
We agree with you.
Y'all had an argument.
This was the argument in the text messages we were having. Alex hates the resumes of the Big Sky schools, and I don't blame him.
The Big Sky's not good this year. I will say that.
I'm with Alex. Now listen, I'm speaking from, I know what the committee, I feel like the committee is going to put NAU in it with 8 wins, because they did it with 7 wins last year, right? Yep. Over some teams that were more deserving. If it was me and I had sole control of the committee, I'd put Southern Utah in over NAU right now at 7 wins. I'd put a 7-win Austin P in over NAU. NAU's resume is not that good, but they're never going to leave an 8-win Big Sky team out. Never. It's never going to happen.
Yeah. No, they're not a Big Sky team ever, never. It's crazy.
And to back it up, I know Ben still has to, or maybe Brendan even too, but to Timothy's comment, Davis passed the ISS. Yeah, I don't really think that this game's going to be that close. It's probably not even a talking point. Davis probably wins easily, and none of what we talk about even matters. But
so on picking this game, what I find interesting, the thing that gives me pause, it was, I don't remember whose tweet it was. Davis has given up a bunch of sacks recently, and if there's one thing the Sac State's really good at, it's sacking.
It's their front 7. Yeah,
their front 7's nasty. They get after the quarterback in a big way, and that could cause serious issues when you've got a quarterback who has already missed a game for some injuries. So, that's a real concern. I think Davis is the much better team as long as they're able to keep Penix somewhat clean. They'll be all right. So I'm going to take Davis to cover, but I'm a little nervous about it just because of that. that stat alone. I mean, you see it in all levels of football over and over and over again. A good defensive line that sacks quarterback can cause a huge amount of issues for a team like Davis. So, but I'm gonna take Davis to cover, I suppose. I wouldn't pick this game in person, to be honest. If I was betting money, I would not pick this game.
No,
not at 5.
You're muted.
Yeah.
What did the model take?
You should have let him keep talking. That's what he always wants
to
do to me.
Model took Davis. Yeah, I'm actually opposite Brendan here. If I had access to a reputable sports book, I might throw a little money in this game. I don't think it's going to be that close.
All right.
I'm going to disagree. Maybe you and I can bet on it. I'll take Sac State. I think they've got some momentum, and they with the 5 points there, I'll just bank on it being at least a close game, and Sac State possibly pulling it out. So, Zach, did you give your take on this one?
Yeah, I think Brendan put it perfectly. It's going to be, can Penix stay clean in the pocket? Because if he's under pressure all game and running for his life, he can do it because he's athletic. But again, he's not going to be as efficient throwing the football down the field, which is where Sac State struggled this year, is allowing explosive plays over the top. And if he can't do that, man, it's going to be really, really tough for UC Davis to win this game, especially with some of their depth at running back taking a hit. Then on the flip side, it's very obvious what you have to do with Sac State. Stop the run and put them in second, third, and longs and make them throw the football when they don't want to. And that's going to be the recipe for UC Davis.
Yeah, and I mean, I think another factor is just UC Davis coming off that game against Montana State. That's a tough game for them. Probably got beat up a little bit. So, yeah, I'll bank on Sac State. Next up, we've got Harvard and Yale. Harvard is a 5.5-point favorite on the road at Yale.
I think Yale's had a pretty good season. I don't think they're the level that Harvard is, and I think Harvard's going to cover in this game. I think they're a lot better at quarterback. I think Harvard's looking around the FCS, seeing the rankings, seeing that, damn, our first time in the playoffs, and we might be a top seed and get maybe at least one home game, and a bye. And I think they're going to be, I mean, the rivalry probably trumps everything for them right now because this is their first year in the playoffs, but I think they'll be real honed in, and I think Harvard's going to cover that. I think they win by 10.
I wonder if you would talk to some of their fan base. And my sister-in-law, fun fact, is a Harvard alum. Beth's oldest sister. But she's not a huge sports person, so probably not the right person to ask. But I'd be curious if you asked like a Harvard or Yale football fan, like, how much does the fact you have especially from the Harvard side, you have a potential chance to eliminate your rival from playoff contention on top of the rivalry game? Like, that was me. I give it a little extra juice. Model has Harvard by 2.3, so it will take, or 2.8, excuse me. It'll take Yale to cover, and I don't know. I think Harvard's a much more talented team, but if you look at their scores, they just they don't blow people out. They don't.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not their style.
A real tight one last week.
Right, style points are not their thing.
They both did. I think they were both looking ahead to this game. Harvard had a tight one with Penn, and Yale had a tight one with who was it? Just looked. Princeton. Yale only beat Princeton by 3. So,
and like I said, it's just they don't. They play a ball control, high efficiency offense. They play nerd football. They don't care about running up the score. They just want to win and go home. So that's why I don't know. Do I want to put my hands in Yale?
He can say that word because he is one.
Right. I have the pass.
The pass. Oh my god.
Did you make a pick?
He has not.
I want to pick Yale, but I don't want Yale to be the ones that send me to Terre Haute. So give me Harvard. I'll play scared here.
Oh, you're such a baby.
Zach, what do you got on this game?
Yeah, I think Harvard's offense is not a great matchup for Yale's defense, in my opinion. I think they're going to be able to throw the football at will with Jaden Craig. Now, I don't know if they're going to be able to run the ball much, which could be an issue. And also, too, Yale's averaging like 4 sacks a game right now in conference play, which is insane. But Harvard's done a pretty good job of protecting Craig. Then also, Yale's been really bad in the red zone in terms of red zone touchdown percentage. So that's something to watch because they're not going to beat Harvard with field goals. But I also will say, historically, when these two teams are good, these games are really, really close and come down to the last possession. So I'd be very, very surprised to see a blowout.
Timothy says Harvard blew out everyone for last week. Their games weren't close, but I wouldn't consider them blowouts. I guess
they're Ivy League blowouts. They're Ivy League blowouts.
I don't consider like 20 points a blowout, but that's what kind of their average margin of victory is.
Sounds good to me. I'd like it if SDSU had that.
That's true.
Harvard, I don't think it'll be a blowout either, but I do like Harvard in this one. And with it being under a touchdown, I will take that. Next up, we've got a game that doesn't necessarily have playoff implications, but it has seeding implications. Montana State goes to Montana for the Brawl of the Wild. Montana State is favored on the road by 6.
Model has Montana State by 5.5, so it wants the Grizz to cover. I'll go the other way. I don't like Montana's defense. I haven't all year. They have gotten by in way, way too many close games they should have lost, and this is by far the best team they've played. I think Montana State breaks that home blowout streak and they almost flip it. I think they win by, I was giving Timothy crap for saying 20 points isn't a blowout. Now I'm going to say it is. But give me Montana State by like 14-20, honestly, as wild as that is to say.
Okay.
I hate Montana's defense.
Ooh.
I hate Montana's
defense. That's a lot of
horrible.
points on the road in Missoula.
That's a lot of points in Missoula. But I am not sold on Montana. They have had flashes and they're winning. Don't get me wrong, they're winning. But so if you're a Montana fan listening, like Thaddeus, I'm not saying that Montana is SDSU. I'm saying that they are as inconsistent during their games as SDSU has been over the last 4. Where like you look at the last game for SDSU, 3 quarters they were pretty good, but that first quarter was so bad that they lost by 2 scores. Montana has been so good that they've been winning by a lot, and I think if they were to do that for the full game, it's going to be a dogfight with Montana State. But do I have faith that they're going to do that against the Montana State defense? I mean, Khalil Aliyat is a stud, but I think he is facing a considerably more formidable defense than the Montana State offense is facing. And man, if I really can easily see Montana keeping this close or potentially winning if they play the way they're capable of for the full game. And I think that's a real possibility with it being the big, the Brawl of the Wild. I think it's very possible they finally lock in for a full game. But I mean, overall, the whole season, Montana State's been better. So I think, the smart play is to pick Montana State to cover. But that's what everybody expects. And this season has been just everything but what everybody expects. So give me the dirty damn Grizz to cover the 6 points in this game in a dogfight in Missoula. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, and if that happens, if they screw me on this, I'm burning a Montana Grizz effigy in my yard while I take a piss on it. If they screw this up, so I just talked myself out of Montana State, who I was going to pick. That, and I think Alex and I have picked the same on every one of these, and I don't want to tie where we both go to Terre Haute. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Montana to cover the 6 points, and I don't feel good about it, but I'm banking on them playing a whole game for once.
Rev says some Montana games start at the speed of smell, and you can't do that against the Bobcats. Is the speed of smell like a Southern saying?
I say it all the time. What are you talking about?
Do you really?
Yes.
I've never heard that before either.
Really? Oh, he's moving at the speed of
Can't
smell.
you smell really fast? Like it's an instant.
Think about how many times you've been sitting in a room and you watch the fart from one of your buddies go through everybody in the room.
Okay.
That is not a fast process.
I didn't know you were
helps it
talking
along
about...
with a fan.
Okay. I understand now.
It takes a minute for that to carry. It's
Good.
smell covering distance, not you like walking in and smelling something. Because I would argue that is you cover. That is the speed of you getting to the smell, not the smell getting to you.
I suppose you could say that. All right, Zach, what do you got on this game?
Boom, lawyered.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing is obviously Montana State is going to want to run the football, but Montana's been really, really good against the run this year. And then on the flip side, too, their pass defense has been shockingly bad in Big Sky play this year. I want to say they rank last in yards per game allowed and like sixth in yards per attempt allowed. But Montana State works off the run to set up their pass game with that RPO attack. So they're going to have to run the football to set up the pass. So that'll be the big thing. And also, too, man, how can they stop the three-headed monster, man? They got Ayat, Gilman, and Wortham there, man, are three outstanding players. And so it'll be a real challenge for this Montana State defense that's been really good all year.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see, is it Montana's offense that is able to score enough, or does Montana State's defense hold them down? I have more confidence in Montana State. I think they're playing really good football. Montana's been too up and down for me to trust them, so I'll go Montana State, which is really tough on the road at Montana, but I'll take Montana State to win by 7. All right. Last, we're not reading that comment.
If Brendan farts at 11 a.m. and Ben walks into the room at 11:02, then what part of the room do they meet?
Doesn't. Anyway.
Well, now we got to calculate the speed of smell.
We don't. We really don't.
Getting glared at over here.
Constant or variable acceleration? What was the thrust?
Oh, I can tell you.
Usually, yeah, we're moving on. SDSU goes to UND. Massive game for both teams. Just couldn't be any bigger playoff implications. The consensus is that the winner is in for sure, and the loser is very, very likely out. And with SDSU, who I forgot to go look at this. I was going to look. Underdogs by 7 points. I was going to look and see when the last
saw. Has it got bet down that much already?
I mean, I used the Reddit book. I didn't.
Oh,
look at
FanDuel had 9.5.
Holy
wow!
Can we do that line instead?
No,
not to give away my pick. 2.5 points would be kind of cool, though. I'm just saying.
Yeah. So I mean, I can kick this one off. We talked about a lot on the B team, but obviously, is Chase Mason going to play? We don't know. I think regardless of whether he plays or not, I think that Jack Henry is doing enough, and this team found something in the second half of that Illinois State game. And the only thing that concerns me is just that, and I think Tim Rosario tweeted it out right before our show, was that
Timothy, you're going to make Mama Rosario mad.
Timothy, sorry. Timothy said that UND has one of the best rushing defenses. SDSU has one of the worst rushing offenses. And that does concern me because that means that UND is just going to be able to tee off. And if we can't get any run game going at all, it's going to be a problem. So it's going to take some creativity by the play calling, but I do like what I saw out of the play calling in the second half of the Illinois State game. Obviously, it's a little different when you're down 35-0. You can kind of open things up a little bit and not worry about it too much. But I think they found some stuff that they will utilize going forward, and I will take SDSU to cover 7.
I think in this game, Rev says, I hate that this game is on the road for SDSU, but if there was time for SDSU to rise up and shock folks, this is the week. I actually have come over to the thinking that Borg was proposing on Saturday night on the Late Show that this team, for whatever reason, is better on the road, and maybe I don't know if it's just expectations coming into the Dana or what, but they really, I mean, if you look at it, all their worst games have been at home. Their best games have been on the road. Their best games at Youngstown, at Montana State, even at the Dakota Dome in this stretch. I would argue the game against USD is probably their best game so far that they've played. So I think that's actually in their favor. Maybe it'll help them lock in or whatever. But I do like that it's on the road, even though the Laris is a miserable place to try and get wins. Overall, I think it's better for the team. Now with UND, are you seeing them as the team that, held NDSU to 15 points and should have won in Montana? Or are they the team that was like losing at halftime to Murray State before they turned it on and blew them out and lost down in Vermilion like SDSU did? Which team is that? Which team are they? They're banged up. They have injuries. I think this is the game where the team does put it all together for at least the majority of the game. The run game thing is a huge concern. I think that's going to be a struggle no matter what. I think this will be a low scoring game. But I also think that they're going to be able to use the pass game to open up the run a little bit. I still don't think Chase Mason's playing, but Matt Zimmer tweeted out earlier this week that Chase was participating in 7-on-7 drills and everything early in the week already. So he's been practicing at the start of the week already. So there's potential he comes back, but even if he doesn't come back, I like the way Jack Henry's come around. I think he's playing pretty good football at this point. I think they're going to have a little more confidence in him after that performance to lead something of a comeback in the game against Illinois State, to be able to use him to loosen up that defense so they can't just sell out on the run. And I think they're going to use his legs in the quarterback power game and whatnot as well. And I think that's going to be hugely helpful as well. Because outside of really QB power type stuff, we've struggled in the run game, but I think they're going to utilize Jack Henry there. And there's no tomorrow after this game. I'm 100% of the opinion you got to win this game to get in. I know weird stuff happens the last week of the season, and we could all be completely wrong. Jacks lose, and then weird stuff happens. And every key team loses, and somehow you're in the playoffs. It happens all the time.
Plan on that though,
right? No, you can't lean on that. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the Jacks to keep it within 7 at least. I think this is gonna be a really tight, really low scoring game. I don't think they're gonna let them run away with it. I think they're gonna fight till the end. Give me the Jacks to cover the 7.
The model says UND by 2.8, so it will take Jacks to cover. Paul, I just wanted to make sure his comment said it. He said our secondary is banged up. Stylistically, like this is actually a really good matchup. It's just the execution issues the last couple weeks give you pause for concern, because UND has a really good offense when they can run the ball. And, the team that's probably had the most success running the ball on us this year by far was USD. But a lot of that was LJ Phillips. And I think Sawyer Seidel is a really good back. There's some rumors Gavin Zebarth's going to be back this week. I don't know that I would bank on that, but that's kind of a similar situation to Chase Mason. I would say, if he's close, he'll go, sort of thing, because it's a gotta have it game. I think their O-line's a little better than USD's, and that's no disrespect to USD's line. I think they'll play that game. But I think a lot of those runs in that USD game were LJ Phillips. He was making some stupid cuts, really good vision. And then the other thing we hopefully learned from in that game is when we got in long distance situations, we ran a crap ton of stunts. And both, I talked about after that game, but both those third and long rushing touchdowns we gave up in that game, we stunted right out of the hole and we're asking a backside cornerback to make a touchdown-saving tackle, and that's just not a recipe for success. So hopefully we learned and we go. So either if we do decide to blitz in those scenarios, we go some more vanilla stuff, or it's third and long and you got a good defense. Just play base, get home. I don't think Kaminsky's a guy. I think Kaminsky's had a good year, especially a first-year starter. I don't think Kaminsky's a guy that that's going to beat you if you force him to. The flip side is their secondary is banged up. They've been susceptible. Their defensive strategy is they're going to stop the run, and they're not going to let you take the top off. They're going to make you take 5, 6, 7 yards in the intermediate pass game, and they're going to plan on you beating yourself. So that's going to be key is can we run the ball enough to stay balanced or against light boxes to take advantage of it? And then can we just make the easy catch and throw? So that's the one thing the offense has actually been pretty good at this year, especially pre-Chase Mason injury. If he does come back, was those 6-7 yard stick routes off some of the RPOs, Shot a little bit Great and Gannon on some hitches, stick routes, quick ends, stuff like that to the tight end. If we can execute on that, I like it. Like I said, the biggest question in all of this is, it's a good matchup actually, but haven't executed well at all, last several weeks. So do you figure that out? I'll take the Jacks. I'm obviously hoping they win. I'm thinking it's going to be an ugly defensive game either way.
Well, Zach, we've got 4 SDSU picks. I suppose you're going to hold your pick back, but let us know what you think about this one.
Well, I had to pick at least one game here. So what was the spread?
7. SDSU underdogs by 7.
That is a disgusting spread because I would probably have it at 7. That's perfect. Not to go too deep into it, but I do think it's not a bad matchup for SDSU defensively because I do think they are built to slow down what UND wants to do offensively. Where I think it falls apart for me is offensively. I just don't know where the success is going to come for SDSU against this defense. They have been so good against the run. Their secondary has been so good at not allowing explosive plays, and they force turnovers. And on top of that, too, they get after the quarterback. They lead the Valley right now in sacks per game in Valley play. And SDSU ranks 9th in the Valley in sacks allowed per game in Valley play as well. And then on top of that, too, they have the best red zone defense in the Valley on top of that. So can SDSU, when they do get to the red zone, can they put up touchdowns? Because you got a young quarterback, I'm assuming, right? Like I said, I'm not going to assume Chase is playing, but if you got a young quarterback, you can't just keep putting pressure on him to go out and score, you got to put some touchdowns up, especially on the road in a hostile environment in the Alara Center. I'm going to take UND to win, but I don't know if it's going to be by more than 7. I think somewhere in that 3 to 7 range is where I would have it.
Yeah, and I think, whether Chase plays or not, obviously nobody has an idea, but I think reading between the lines, and Zimmer alluded to this on the podcast with Gaskins, is that, they haven't ruled him out for the season for a reason. And I think it's obviously that probably they were thinking, well, we're 7-0. We can at least get to the playoffs and bring him back then. And let's not chance anything between now and then. And I think it's been a little slower recovery than they thought it had. But if it was going to be any game, it would be this one, obviously, because we don't know if we have any more games left. And I think that at a minimum, if I had to guess, at a minimum, he dresses, and I think that he will play some. I don't know if we see him play the full game or not, and just kind of maybe a pitch count per se, but and try to manage that injury a little bit. But if I had to guess, I think we see him out there.
I think at that point, though, if he goes, he goes. And granted, situations have changed, but was that last week or 2 weeks ago. He said as soon as he can go, there's no restrictions there.
I think it probably depends on the flow of the game, though. I mean, I don't know. Because the thing is, if you win, now we've got playoff games to play, and you don't want him injured for that. So,
you don't, but you got to get there first.
100%. Yeah, I know it's a tough spot.
Chad's in the background, so he's the only one that'll get this. But that was back in the day. My dad and uncle would be getting so worked up about the gray areas they had in the car, and that was my grandpa's reminder to them always was, you got to finish top 4 first, because they always they tear down the top 4 cars every week.
Hmm.
So just get in the top 4 before you worry about where you're cheating at. And obviously it's a different situation, but the thought's prevailing.
Yeah.
Also, don't expect a fair race against Alex if you're
Yeah, I guess. Jeez.
We weren't doing anything anybody else wasn't. Sorry. Yes.
No, he just stitched on himself. That was a
Yeah.
Freudian slip right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, ooh.
No, there's no secrets. Everyone knows what everyone else is doing. It's just how much you're willing to risk. There's the gambling and driving. There's that gambling side of it too.
Before we go and before I forget, Innovative Engineering, thank you. If you're planning a commercial building, restaurant, or retail space, turn to them. They're based in Sioux Falls. They do mechanical engineering design, HVAC, plumbing, sanitary waste. If you need them, go to innovative-engr.com to learn more. Thank you to Innovative Engineering Solutions.
So Timothy was a good question on the whole Chase Mason argument. Says, is there an argument that an in-rhythm Jack Henry is a slightly better option than a banged-up, totally out-of-rhythm Chase against the best pass rush in the Valley? I think that's 100% part of what they're deciding. I think that's 100% on what they've got to see in practice. This Chase,
right? Is he
not just
insane?
physically okayed, but is he going to be effective? Is he going to?
Yeah, it's obviously
play.
It's obviously going to be part of the equation, but I think that Chase's arm talent is just absolutely elite. And I mean, obviously, Jack Henry's done very, very well.
You heard Tim Polasek say that he's when they're talking about if he was going to play or not, he said it's like his mechanics aren't perfect, but his arm is so strong it doesn't matter. The ball still gets there on time.
Yeah, and so in that sense, I think it. I mean, I am surprised by that stat actually that we're 9th in the Valley in sacks allowed, because we've had, and maybe this is how bad our run blocking has been, but we've thought that our pass blocking is better than our run blocking.
It is by one spot, 9th and 10th.
All right. Well, not a ringing endorsement for the Hogs.
Can I ask y'all one question?
Yeah.
If y'all do make the playoffs, obviously y'all are probably going to be traveling. If y'all got to pick one
I don't
spot,
know. Are we traveling?
If y'all lose and get in, y'all are definitely traveling.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if regionality didn't matter, where is the one team you guys would want to go?
I'm biased and
for a win or destination?
No, destination. Well, like
I'm gonna have a one-off here, and then I'll give my real answer. My one-off is I've got a buddy that lives in Cookeville, so Tennessee Tech. I crashed with him, and I've converted him to a little bit of a Jacks fan, so we go to the game and stuff together. But otherwise, I'm gonna go with Jim Poppin. Going to Harvard, getting to go see the Jacks play in Harvard Stadium, that would be sick. Yeah. That would be dope.
Yeah, Harvard would be incredible. Selfishly, I'd like to go down to Nacogdoches to see our good buddy Rev down there. Unfortunately, I won't be able to make any first round game because I'm going to be on the road for Thanksgiving. But
I'll be in Chicago, so I will not be at.
Well, luckily, if
easy flight.
If it's Harvard, it might be second round, so that would be good. Because if you win the first, you could fly to the second round. Now, I knew if I said winning, y'all would be like, man, send us to Drake. Let Drake host. And send us to Drake, and we'll get him again. We'll break the rules and send us back to Drake.
Right. No, in a serious, I guess, who would I think would be most gettable for this team sans a Drake, right? Like a legitimate top 16 team. I kind of would like another crack at the Yotes, to be honest.
It would be fun.
I wouldn't mind that, to be honest. I think in a playoff atmosphere, that would be much more blue than the regular season game was in that dome. It'd be interesting. That, or I'd like to go to Northern Arizona. They probably won't be a top 16 seed, but a Northern Arizona. Maybe a Villanova. If there's one thing SDSU knows how to do, it's end Villanova's season. I think if I was a Villanova fan and then somehow they got matched up with us again, I'd have a mental breakdown, because I think the only team that's seen the same team more often in the playoffs as us with NDSU, because I think it'll be like the 4th time we've faced Nova in like the last 10 years in the playoffs. So that would be funny. That one would make me laugh a little bit.
Yeah, I think Harvard as well. I'd like to go see Harvard. That'd be sweet.
So we have not asked you yet, or we have not gotten from you yet, Zach, the other important games that if Jacks fans are hoping to get in with 7 wins are going to be the most important to pay attention to.
Oh my gosh. I mean, dude, there's so many like that. And obviously, like you hit on Harvard, Yale, like I think UT Martin, Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, that's huge.
If UT Martin wins, like whoever
That
loses
takes away a
this
bubble
game,
spot.
yeah, like whoever loses this game is probably done. I just like, especially if UT Martin gets in, it shakes up everything. 'Cause that's a 7-5, 6-6 team getting in, which would be insane. We've talked about, I think for you guys, NAU, Weber State, if NAU loses, that would be huge. That would take NAU out of the bubble completely. And I think if they lose at 7-5, they'd be on the outside looking in. So that would open up a bubble spot for you guys. I think you guys would still get in over New Hampshire, William and Mary, even if those 2 teams win. But either of those teams losing would help. Dartmouth losing to Brown, which probably isn't going to happen, would help as well. I'm trying to think if I'm missing any.
That's my big 3. I think if it's us and those 3 teams on the bubble, we should get in. And I know one of them's not consensus. I still disagree. New Hampshire, William and Mary, UC Davis. I think if those 3 teams are the bubble, we've
Austin
got
P.
to stand on.
Austin P. Tarleton. If Austin P. beats Tarleton, they're getting in at 8-4 over a 7-5 SDSU team, especially with the FBS win too. And then you would have the win over, was it West Georgia and Tarleton on their resume. And I would also say too, it would probably help if Abilene Christian lost a little bit, but that would still be a real big debate between a 7-5 Abilene Christian and a 7-5 SDSU. And I agree with Dustin. I think if you're really wanting to make it at 7-5, SLU has to lose. Now, I understand their resume is terrible, and just bear with me. I
still think they might be in at 8 wins, though.
I mean, even if they win, are you really telling me a 7-5 Missouri Valley team belongs in over a 9-1 Southland team against the FCS?
I don't think teams with a losing conference record really deserve to be in the playoffs in general. I think that honestly probably should be a rule, but yeah, it's in that specific scenario. No, I'm not telling you that at all.
Yeah, and obviously, Paul, like if SDSU wins, like all this is mute. Like they're in regardless of everything else that happens. Now, UND would not be safe. UND would need to adopt what Alex has on the screen, and you need to be rooting for a ton of other teams to lose.
Right.
What is your prediction for a seed if we get in?
If y'all win,
have them up there.
Yeah.
That's the interesting one. If we win, where do you end up?
Let's see, because I think I had you guys going 1-1 last week, and in our bracket prediction, we had you guys as the 14 seed.
Yeah.
And you guys in that scenario, if it played out how we projected with you guys in getting the 14, you guys would play Northern Arizona in the first round, hosting them, and then the winner would go to Montana.
I would not mind a Southern Dome team playing in Brookings in the weather we're having right now. That'd be a miserable day for them. That's something, that's what I'm wondering is, I think they definitely should, with the resume, you definitely should be a top 16 seed. It'll be really interesting how they weigh the resume versus how they ended, even though you win the last game. Are they going to, say what you said earlier is this isn't the same team that beat Montana State, but they went on the road and beat a good UND team. They'd have 3 ranked wins on the road, which I doubt any other team really has.
We would be tied for second with USD.
Yeah, and you're tied for second with USD. That Montana State win looks a lot better, even with the head-to-head. And does the committee, if Chase is back and you win that game, then it becomes this could really send.
That changes the whole conversation. If Chase comes back and looks good, it's a guaranteed seed at 8-4. I understand what Brian's saying with don't lose to Indiana State, but if Chase comes back and plays well, that changes the conversation.
Are you talking old seed or new seed? Because I don't think there's any way.
I'm not
they
talking
get a top
8 here.
No.
There's
top
no way
16.
they get top 8. But they're
top 16
with a
seed.
win. They're even if it's with Henry, I'm of the opinion they're probably in the 13 to 16 range personally.
Right. Yeah, but that'll be a real interesting conversation if Chase is back, and then you're lining up the resume with the USD. Do they go? Yeah, that was a close game without Chase Mason, and he looked really good in Grand Forks, and then the resume on top of it. That's going to be a fascinating selection day.
Do you land in that 9 to 12 range? Then that becomes a discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
It'll be. Let's get weird. This is such a fun year. There hasn't been a bubble like this in a long time.
No. There was really hardly even a bubble last year. I'm gonna work on that over Thanksgiving. What the NCAA wrestling seed matrix would look like for the bracket, but I put that up last spring when I finally got around to it. And do you know how many playoff eligible teams we ended up with last year, including auto bids?
No.
25. And I forget who the 25th team was, but they were very clearly the worst team in the group. And it was top 24 ended up exactly what the committee had.
That's crazy.
Maybe that's what they use, and they all go to bed early, but they all they stay in this hotel with the convention center. Mm-hmm. They're like, we're all staying up real late, and they put in the formula into Alex's wrestling seed formula, and then they all go to bed, and then they come up with just the reasons to justify things really quick, and then they all go to bed and act like they were up real late.
If I was on the committee, that's how I'd want it, though. You would walk into that meeting, and you get a sheet, and it would say, here's your recommended seeds. Here is the highest, and there is some movement. So it's not just here's the sheet locked. There is movement the committee is allowed to make in there, but it's based upon a score of how close teams are within a range. So you get a sheet. Here's the recommended seeds, and next to that is here's the highest you can rank this team. Here's the lowest you can rank this team. Start at 1, work your way down. For as much as they complain about how long it takes, I would want that personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I know you're big BCS type numbers guy, and I struggle with that properly capturing what's happening to us this year. I got a feeling that if you went by that BCS, we'd end up with some crazy seed at 7-5.
Yeah, y'all be like the 4 seed,
right? Some weird nonsense.
But that's why, unlike the BCS, the committee still gets a say.
Right, but like you said, they can only move it so far, and I don't know. I'd have to be sold on that. I would have to. Ben's dying. Poor Ben. He's like, please, no.
We should be respectful of Zach's time here too. He's got to record another show. So.
Oh shit, that's right. He's gonna.
No, y'all are good, man. Y'all are good.
Tim's in the Timothy. I did Tim too. I'm sorry, Timothy.
Timothy's in the comments. Like he's in the
comments.
Good.
Yeah, he's not being like, hey guys, we got shit to do, right?
Well, I mean, he's probably up with a baby right now. I know how that goes.
Right. Yeah, I've had those podcasts with a baby in my arm. I know how that goes. I get it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zach, for being on. We really appreciate it. We love having your expertise on here. Tell people where to find you. They should know already, but just in case.
Yeah, man. The Blue Bloods on all podcast room platforms and YouTube. FCS Football Central on SI is the website, and then Twitter is just my name at Zach McKinnell, man. And again, I appreciate y'all so much, man. One of my favorite shows to watch every week, man. Y'all keep killing it.
Appreciate you.
Thank you for the kind words. We love all the stuff that you're on. You're on all sorts of things now. You're on the Opta show. You're on Sam Herder's podcast. You've got everything going on your website. Love all of it. Appreciate all the work you put in for FCS.
Absolutely,
football.
man.
Hardest working man in FCS. All right. With that, everybody, like Jim says, like we always say, go big, go blue,